Let that cord hang out there for a little bit, folks. Wow. Love that song. Been a while since we've ran it as a start to the stream. Welcome to Viewer Appreciation Month here at Flying with Mike. This is actually the first scheduled flight that I have lined up. Yesterday, we flew an impromptu kickoff to the Viewer Appreciation Month of July here. Folks, we are, this is the month 2 years ago we became an affiliate with Twitch. So we're just trying to pump it up a little bit and hope you all enjoy as we take a look at flying at vacation destinations all month long. Today is no exception. Just like yesterday, we took off from Skathos. To those of you in Europe, you know it as the St. Martin of Europe. It's the kind of runway that St. Martin has there. Situated in Greece over to Corfu. Viewer Filak was the one to suggest it, and I thought, hey, that'd be a good flight. We did it in the King Air C90. That actually comes with X-Plane 12. So today, well, we're gonna fly off in the Beastie out there in gate C21 A319 from Toliss. That means yes, yet again another X-Plane 12 run. And folks, the only variance that happens here with Sims is okay. Every now and then I throw X-Plane 11 in just for the heck of it. Folks, we don't fly Microsoft here. A lot of reasons for it. It's a shame many don't take things the way I do, but then again, world would be just way too sane probably if we went that route. So anyway, just kidding, everyone. You know, to each their own with whatever sim y'all like. So I feel X-Plane 12's the best. I enjoy it now, and it's a far cry from the first time I dabbled in it, X-Plane 6, when Microsoft well, Microsoft did what Microsoft did back then in the days, right after FSX released and the bomb of their operating systems and all of that good stuff. So I just wanted away from Microsoft. I didn't care what, I needed something better than what X-Plane 6 was. X-Plane 11 was, and X-Plane 12 is even better. So anyway, long story short, cuts off there. We're not going any further down it. Folks, we're here to have a good time, relax. Those of you in Europe, your day is beginning to wind down. Many here in the United States, their work day is wound up. For those that have to work today in between the weekend and the holiday. Happy 4th of July also to everyone. That is why we're in Philadelphia, otherwise known as Philadelphia. The city of brotherly love, the city that just loves to, well, you put your own adjective, adverb, whatever you want to call it at the end. But it usually is not a good thing. And we are inside the new scenery here. This scenery, you know what? I never made a timer for it. Hang on a second. Let me look it up for you, give you at least the link. Hang on. Let me give you that link here. It is payware, that I will tell you. Are you? Oh wait, I went to the wrong one. Hang on. I wanted to go to this one. And it's on sale, just so you know. But it's actually very good. It's actually from the Star Sim, which that almost sounds like the one that made St. Louis. I'm not sure. There are a lot of features that could be considered similar. So, you know, it's possible. I'm not going to swear to it because, well, quite frankly, when I do that, I usually get it wrong. But there's the link to it, folks, over in the X-Plane store. There's actually a discount on it right now. It is on sale. The reason we're kicking off out of here, hey, this is where the United States, well, not back then, the colonies back then, 200, what are we, 50 years ago? Ish? No. Yeah, we're getting pretty close to 250 years ago. Wow. Signed the Declaration of Independence, and from there, we are that chariot today, sending forth that word that we are going to be independent of Great Britain. That is where we're at. Just there in the city is Independence Hall, where it all happened, and we're going to be the chariot or the horsemen heading down to Florida to sound the independence. If you give me a second here, folks, I do want to put this in so I can use it easier. It's hard sometimes to find these things when you're on the fly. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, gonna just make a quick new command here. Okay, and boom. Hang on a second. One more keystroke and oh, what the heck? And activate. All right, so it is now saved. And just a quick test of it. So yeah, if you just type exclamation mark KPHL anytime from here forward, you'll be able to get into that Philadelphia scenery. I don't know how long the sale runs, but it is, like I said, you get like a $2.40, something like that savings. So check it out, folks. Okay, we've spent enough time here. Let's, as the flight crew, let's head over to the plane, shall we? And I'm sure these passengers aren't really going to head down and sound the independence call. They want to get to the beach. So I think we better do that. What do you think, folks? All right, welcome to ToLiss, the A319. I believe I do have that linked in here. There you go. There's how you can grab it, folks. Don't know. I think it's on sale. If I saw something over at ToLiss looking to see if I had the latest, greatest, meanest machine out there. Okay, maybe the meanest machine isn't going to happen, but I think we do have the latest, greatest. So, all right, so let's pick up the checklist where we were. Basically, we are just about ready to do the McDo gig. We got the APU running. As you can see, the bleed's on. Fuel pumps are up and running. Everything is up on the overhead panel, ready to go, waiting for my cue to align. All right, so I'm going to kind of keep it set here. Just bring it. See, these are the things I wish that if I had one of maybe 2 or 3 criticisms, one of my big ones is I like pop-up windows. Why? One, they usually get bigger. You know, those of us in our upper years, me at 58, starting into my upper years, it helps to have bigger font. I know you guys in the real plane are probably going, oh, we would like that too, but where would we pop it up to? So, but anyway, that's one of my, I critique that on any default. I don't care what sim. Pop-up windows are a great thing. Folks, we're not in the real plane. I know some of you went, oh, no, we are. Yes, no, you're not, really. We are flying the real thing. It has to be, or I can't fly it. Some go further, and then we'll leave it there. All right, we'll just move on from there because, boy, I could take that a lot of ways that would make some people mad at me. So anyway, let's go to the init page, shall we? All right, let's do the init request. We're going to get this show rolling, folks, really. Data processing, here we go. Maybe. There we go. I was going to say, maybe we're going to get some routes and all in here. All right. All right, so we got everything loaded up. Oh, look at that. Dispatch being so nice to us today. Gave us a cost index of 35 and 38,000. Well, there was one day they gave us 35, which is actually a pretty good number, folks. But they gave us like 28,000. I'm like, oh gosh, we're never going to get there. Oh, but anyway, let's check our lat launch, shall we? And to do this, what I'm going to do, we're going to have a little bit of class today, kids. And the kids are going, oh my God, I thought we were out of school. It's summertime. Go to summer school. Anyway, hang on here. Where are you hiding? There you are. Oh, I did close it. My bad. Here, let's pre-flight it real quick. We'll just go the easy way. My bad, folks. I thought I had that program up and running, but I don't. But I do have this one up and running, Sim Toolkit. All right, and I think right now the links between VATSIM and whatever links Sim Toolkit uses aren't completely meshing up because I do believe there is ATC up here in the Philly area. Not 100% sure. So, I mean, SimAware is showing it, but again, there's a problem here. That might also mean there's a problem with SimAware. So I don't know which is true. We'll find out here shortly. But anyway, let's do this real quick. Charts. All right, so you can see where we're hiding right here on the coast. Now, I like the VFR chart. I know a lot of you are going, but that's not what we use at high levels. Yeah, but for flight simming, it's great for you all watching the stream to see the kind of topography we're flying over. So now let's go ahead and unload. That's yesterday's flight. Now, if you're using Charts 8, folks, I learned this from Captain Mac, another streamer out there. Click this import flight, import from SimBrief, your latest and greatest flight, and voila, it populates it for you. I was going a whole different route. He made it so easy. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. A lot of little tips we share amongst our streams. I see him talk about a couple I've said that all of a sudden I see him doing, and likewise. Oh, I like this tip. It's really a good tip, actually. All right, we are going to depart 27 left. So, but what we need to do is get in here, go to the charts, taxi, look for the parking chart or parking coordinates. There we go. Why you're going, why would we look at something so boring as that? Well, compliments of something that good old Airbuses can do that, well, it's a little more tricky and sometimes doesn't work in the Boeings. It might work well in the PMDG, but I found it a little wonky, so I go a different route there. All right, so what we're going to do, we're in C21. So that puts our gate 17 to 24. So we need coordinates to say 39, 52.5. 39, 52.4. All right, so now we're correct for the latitude. Click the line select next to longitude over here. Now you saw the up-down arrows move. Same thing. Now we need it to say 75 degrees, 14.5. Well, we're off still. I think it's the down arrow, yeah. Whichever works, folks. It's how it was pretty simple. Okay, so now we have 39, 52.5, 075, 14.5. Boom. We're good. Align your IRS, and poof, it is already set and aligning to those coordinates. So it's aligning down from wherever the airport reference point was that it started at. It is now zooming into 17 through 24. So it's a little closer to where we're at, even though that airport ref is really good. Okay, and then I'm going to click winds just because it's easier here. Request. I said request. Thank you. Check that they came in on each of the phases, and they did. Back to the init page. All right, so that took care of that portion of the FMC, and let me clear out that. All right, now, flight plan-wise, Let me X out of that. All right, so you can kind of see how we're going to track out of here all the way down over Greensboro, down to just this side of Mickey World and into Sarasota. Be gone. All right, weather here in the Philadelphia area. Is it filthy? Not really. Winds are 190 at 4. You can kind of see how they're attacking our runway of 27 left. 10-mile visibility, and we got a few clouds at 4,600. Ceiling is set at 14,000 with a broken layer, another broken layer up at 23. Okay, I'll buy that. 26 degrees, 23. Folks, this is just in the range that could. If it was closer, there probably would be some fog forming. And maybe there was earlier today. I don't know. But that's the spread. When you get within 3 degrees Celsius, folks, I think it's Celsius, it may be Fahrenheit, fog has something has a tendency to form. Dew, fog, clouds, which is what fog is, just low clouds. So, but we have 10 miles visibility and none of that showing up as fog. So that looks good. How's it going to be at the beach, Muffy? Well, the winds are out of the west at 8. That's not bad. 10 miles of visibility at least with a clear sky. Oh, it's just going to be too rough there. It's 32. Oh, we're going to need sunscreen. I don't want to go now. Oh, it's just going to be so rough down there. So that's where we're headed, folks, with the weather. Finally, everyone's filled out their NDA. Only 72 people decided they wanted to fly with us after being told they had to fill out non-disclosures. 16,500 pounds of payload. Boy, wouldn't that be interesting if I wonder how many would fly them if you put an NDA in front of them. That's interesting. 109,731 pounds is our zero fuel weight. 16,800 pounds for fuel. Granted, it says 27. They gave us 35. We'll take it. 38,000 feet's where we're headed. All right. Boy, that would be interesting. All right. Get rid of Sim Toolkit here. Let's continue on, shall we? Now, we're going to show you why that init ref was the greatest thing that came out to these things, because now we're going to the F plan, and look, the flight plan's already loaded for us. We didn't even have to put the company route in, folks, like we normally do. It's all done for us, all the way to include if we have to go to our alternate, as you will see. So we're going to come out of Philly. We have said a runway. Here, let me show it to you again. 27 left. Departure. Where are you? There you are. 27 left. Now you go, well, why don't you take 27 right? Because 27 right's being used for arrivals right now. And I'll show you that in a second here. All right, so there we go with our departure. Let me go ahead and show why I know that. Let's bring Sim Toolkit up again. One-stop shop here, folks. All right. Did you see down here, you saw I clicked NavGraph to bring the charts up? I could bring SkyVector up too. I could bring SimBrief up, but let's do my favorite, DATIS. You type in the website, you get to this page, scroll down till you find the airport you want in the United States. Philly. Look at that. I've got the ATIS, and not the one VATSIM made, the one in the real world. So 250 at 8, 10 miles, few clouds, 4,000, 13,000, 22,000. All right, departing. See, we got departure and arrival. Some of the big airports do break them down that way, two separate ATIS. All right, so departing 27 left, runway 35. 35's just a little too short and a longer taxi. J's closed. All of this is there for your pleasure. There's some construction. and so forth down the line. Here's the arrival side if you're curious. Oh, look, simultaneous approaches to intersecting 27 right and 35, 25 right visuals, and blah, 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 blah. You didn't know that's what the controller said to make that, did you? Blah, 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 blah. Kind of like Charlie Brown. Wah, 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 wah. All right, so, okay, so we know that's true, so we'll, you know what? I think I'm going to keep that discontinuity that you see here. All right, I'm going to push up here just a bit. I want to put this on plan. All right, let's step through and see, other than this discontinuity, if there's any others. There'll be one for sure, obviously, at the arrival point. All right, there it is, the arrival point. Oh, let's go up one more and you'll see it right there. Okay, so let's go to SRQ. Our route says KYYUU on the lumber 3. All right, so let's do the arrival. We'll go ahead and plan for the ILS. Lumber 3. Hang on a second, there should have been. Okay, let me real quick look at it. There may not be a transition, that's why. There actually is. Interesting. Why am I not seeing it? Interesting. Not giving us the transition. Well, we're not going to go a Novia. Hey, there it is. All right, so we'll insert. So coming off of Kira, KYYUU, Woodford, Spas, Bradenton. Okay, Luber, Zebon. Got any? I'm looking at it here for altitude restrictions. The only one I'm seeing is at or above 3,000 Murdo. All right. Zebon, Beaker, Woody, Life, Murdo. And that should be at or above, well, it doesn't have it in there. Manual to Zabq, where are you? There we go. Okay, Zabku and then in. All right. All right, I am going to go ahead and remove the manual. Remove this. And that'll clear that all up. And then back up top here. Hey, look at the Philadelphia 2 departure. I know it's just straight out and make a turn. The heck is STOEN? Actually, it's a turn to the north. Yeah, we'll just leave it as is. Okay. All right, folks, so we've got the plan made. The plan man is ready to go. Next up. Oh, I told you we were going to show you some things. Yes. Let's go through this rather quickly again down to our arrival. All right. Here's the missed approach. And if we need to go to Melbourne, the basic routing for that. Now, I could put in runway 14. You know what? Let's do it. Departure 14. I did that wrong. I don't want that. I am pretty sure I did not want that. Okay, I think it's in there correct. Only thing I wanted was the runway. There we go. And that I will clear up. And then down at the, let's go for the insert. And what we're doing, folks, if we have to go to our destination or our alternate, we can plan it all the way in direct MLB. So depending on the runway in play here, I could set that all up or I could do that en route. And there you go, folks. You are fully planned out. There we go. All right, next up on the roundup here. What do we got next? RadNav. Yeah, I know you all have a cute little little word play there. I don't know it, so I go by the checklist. And we got GLC 1093. That's good. Next up will be the init B page. All right. Now to get to this, just click the arrow. This should match. Now, what do I mean? You guys have seen that before. Okay, over here, zero fuel weight's 109.8, 109.7. Am I good with that? Actually, we'll go ahead and do it. 108.8. Zero fuel weight, 28.1. 28.1. All right, and then we just push it to there. It's out of range. Oh, 108. Clear. How about 109.8 slash 281. Okay, fuel 17. That's actually, I'm going to leave that, and then everything looks good for our times. Okay, lastly, we go to the perf page. And guess what? We have something to help us get going there too, folks. So, and we'll upload. All right, 2987 wins. What are our wins here? Hang on a second. PHL to KSRQ. Okay, Philly is reporting 240 at 8. We're on a dry runway. Temperature 29. 29, 2986. 29.86. 7. Let's see if it'll take it. Wait a minute, was it? Oh, I'm silly. I just put the same number. 2986. All right, and all right, so if we plan to toga this takeoff, which, by the way, we are on a, looking it up real quick here, folks, 12,000 foot runway. So yeah, we're going to flex it. They're calling us for a 50, so wait a minute, flex of 72. Here's our V speeds, 131, 131, 133, up, flaps 1, up 0.5. You know what? I'm pretty happy with these numbers. Everything looks good. Uplink. Clear. And folks, we are loaded. Now, I am going to check one site. He might have done Philly, and that being Black Box 7-Eleven. There are a few United States places he's done, not many, but a few. And it's starting to look like this is not one of them. No. So, oh well, that wasn't worth it. Oh well. But what that site would give me is these numbers here. I guess there's a formula that figures these up. Don't know. I use his site to give it to me. But anyway, so we're set to go, folks. Let's get things rolling here. We're back in the saddle again. Perf page is done. Okay, so altimeter 2986. Flight directors on, LS on, and constraints on. LS on and constraints on. Okay, next up, speed and heading. We've got dashes and dots, so they're all managed. Welcome in. The Attitude, welcome with your party of 14 Raiders. Welcome aboard Flying with Mike. We hope y'all enjoy the ride down to Sarasota, the beaches thereof. And thank you for being a part of Flying with Mike. And B Attitude, as always, thank you. B4 Attitude, I should say. Or Bad Attitude. Thank you, sir, so much for all the support you've given us all the time. So, that is awesome. Folks, if you're new to the channel, hit that follow button. That way you can follow us as we go on our journey, especially this Viewer Appreciation Month, where we're going to fly to many of the vacation destinations that are out there. And we're looking for the ones you all kind of like, and we try to set up some flights to them. We did one to Corfu in Europe yesterday, today to the beach in Florida. All right, that is awesome. All right, I need to see the Philadelphia 2, if only to see what our initial climb out is, 5,000. And we are managed, so that is a good thing. All right. Okay, anti-skids on. Nose wheel steering's on the same switch, all on. Switches is all set to normal. They would be at 12 o'clock, folks, for normal. Down below here, let's get that transponder up and readied. And finally, once we clear everything out, the beacon. Let's start clearing some things out. Okay, get those closing to start with. while we're waiting on that, let's get the ACAR program running for virtual American Airlines. Folks, if you're into as real as it can be to airline standards, let me say that, ensuring you hear that, to airline standards. It's good airline here, folks. They are going to want you to fly the aircraft. Now, we aren't flying an A320 on this, but if you say wanted to take up the A320 on this one, don't take the Toliss A320. It's a Neo. It's not a CEO conventional. Um, that will get it disqualified. So that's how focused this airline is. And they go in other areas as well, folks. So giving you a warning, but they are a really good bunch of people. So check them out. Here's a link to them. And you can check them out for yourself. See if it's what you're looking for. All right, folks, the peoples are just about, they're telling me they are aboard. Let's get that main door closed. And I want to just, the good thing is we're not online, so that didn't cause a problem. All right, I haven't filed a flight plan yet. Let's get that going too. And I want to make sure my lumber, whatever it is on it. It is, okay. Oh, I hate when it doesn't put that in there. I know why, but it just, oh. Doesn't fill out the basic requirements of the aircrafts in them. And AAL, and we are a performance C. AKLP for this, that. And we're gonna get it going. All right, we are AA, American Airlines 2907, connecting into Philadelphia. In the good old A319. Oh, I hate when I do that. There we go. Hit cancel. I don't know if New York Center covers here or if it's kind of weird. This is kind of like that Tampa uh-oh, you're starting to drive. Oh Lord, the steam engine. You know, those look kind of challenging. You know, every time I've looked at them, their bad attitude, they look like a pretty good challenge. Obviously, that was high technology back in the day. But anyway, let's see. Where are we at checklist wise? All right, I am calling up Better Pushback.
Round to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
All right, we're going to try to be a little complicated here, folks. I'm pretty sure this is how they would push in Philly. Although, you know what? Hang on, I did this wrong.
Ground to cockpit.
Let's give it a try. It's kind of complex. Let's see if it'll do it. All right. Went out to the hold point number 1. But again, welcome in Raiders from B4 Attitude, or Bad Attitude, as he once told me. Hope things at work are going well enough for you to play with steam engines instead of jet engines. So obviously that's a good thing. Okay, get that door closed. All right, we'll get rid of this here. It's being a pain.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
And chocks away. Now we'll get to there she goes, lifting up the nose. And here we go. Sure, we're running in the world of American.
Connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Due time. Due time. All right, we are on the map. All right, parking brake released. And we're going to get yelled at if we are in New York's territory.
Starting pushback. And
I think we're in DC. Oh, I got Philly ground. I did not see them. Okay, well, we're going to push back. While we're pushing, let's get their frequency put in here. I honestly did not see them. Philadelphia ground, American 2901. We're pushing back from C21. Sorry, we didn't see you online. Request clearance to Sarasota is filed.
American 2907, no worries. Clearance on request, stand by, number 1. American 2907, clears field with flash ready to copy.
2901's ready to copy.
American 2907, cleared to the Sarasota Airport, Philadelphia 2 departure, radar vectors STOEN, then is filed, maintained 5,000, expect flight level 38010 minutes after departure, departure frequency 132.175, squawk 7710.
Okay, we're cleared to Sarasota. Philly 2, then STOEN. Initial climb 5,000, 38,000, 10 minutes after, 32.175 for departure, and 7710 for the box.
American 2907, read back correct. Advise you have information Alpha or Golf on board. Advise ready to taxi.
Copy. We'll get Golf and we'll call for taxi. We'll be at spot 1 here once we're started up. Still under my pushback. Ooh. All right. Let me get that information real quick.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Oh.
Philly Grand American 571 Heavy with information Alpha IFR to Miami, please.
Stand by.
American 571 Heavy, clear on request, standby number 1.
Go ahead and start cranking up. That's my bad. Who are we going to be talking to? 32. Okay, we'll be talking to center. Okay. All right. Here, let me get over here. Alpha is oh, Delta. Okay, we have Delta.
Tow is disconnected and bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
American 571 Heavy, clearance available, advice ready, copy.
Ready 571 Heavy.
American 571 Heavy, clears the Miami International Airport, Philadelphia 2 departure, radar vector STOEN, then is filed, maintain 5,000, expect flight level 400, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 132.175, squawk 2622.
Oh, we're at 6. My bad. Number 9. I'm sorry, 9.
To Miami, Philly 2 departure, radar vector STOEN, that is filed, maintain 5,000, expect 400 minutes after departure. Departure 132.17, squawk 2622.
American 571 Heavy, read back correct, push and start at your discretion, advise ready taxi.
Paul 571 Heavy.
Is it going to let me? Okay, we are set up now in the McDo. Let's get number 2 rolling, or number 1. And we need, what is it, 7710? And Philly ground, American 2901. We're ready to taxi for 27 left. We're at spot 9 on the ramp, and we have Delta.
American 2907, runway 27 left, taxi via Kilo November, Sierra, cross 27 right at November.
Okay, cleared via Kilo November Sierra cross 27 right, November to 27 left, 20 American 2907. Okay, it looks like we're good to go. Chrono's on for my 3 minutes. Here we go. All right, so we need Kilo. Okay, that'll be okay, so we cross this taxiway right ahead of us over to Kilo. All the while, we got checklists to run. Okay, APU bleeds coming off. Okay. Ground spoilers right back here. Let's pull them up. To arm them, pitch and trim. Again, why I like pop-up windows. Up 0.5. Okay.
American 2907, it looks like you missed November. No problem. Take a left turn on Tango. Continue Tango, Papa, November, Sierra.
Tango Papa Sierra. Sorry about that. Running a couple things and missed it.
No worries. Just make sure left turn on Tango. It should be the first left coming up. And
Got
it'll be Tango, Papa, November, Sierra.
Tango Papa November Sierra. We're getting our chart set right here.
From.
Good job. Where are we? Come on, Zoom. I hate when it won't zoom, folks. Tango Papa. Okay, I got what he's got us doing. Here's Tango. Get this. Papa. See. Oh, I see what he's doing. Okay, I got it. I got it. So we're going to come across. Taking the long way home, folks. Okay, and then November to Sierra. Got it. Okay. Back taxi here in essence. Then Sierra to Sierra 1. Actually, I could probably take any intersection. And ground 2907, we can take Sierra 3 here.
American 2907, no problem. Contact New York Center 132.175.
132.175 for center, American 2907. Thanks. Sorry for the problems.
No worries.
Okay, before I contact, just going through. Okay, nose wheel brake, elapsed time. Okay. set, and let me get the center dialed in. We're ready to go. Oop. 32175, correct. New York Center, American 2907 at Sierra 3, Philadelphia, ready to go. AB. Philadelphia, or New York Center, American 2907, ready to go, Sierra 3, Philadelphia.
American 2907, New York Center, hello. Turn left heading 245. Wind 250 at 8, runway 27 left, clear for takeoff.
Left turn 245 for American 2907, clear for takeoff. Here we go. I did click off, didn't I? No, I did not. Two, 4, 5. All right, so we go on that heading. All right, that's not far off our runway here. Here we go, 50%. No quick signs.
Delta 5763, expect ILS, runway 27, right approach.
Come on, girl.
Expect ILS runway 27, right, Delta 5763.
Delta 8882, cleared, direct Bel Air, Alpha India Romeo.
80 knots, checked and verified.
Delta 8882, cleared, direct Bel Air VOR, Alpha India Romeo. Delta 8882, New York.
Skyhawk 4, Mike Charlie, short 24, ready for departure northeast.
November 7, Mike Charlie, right downwind departure approved, wind 300 at 4, runway 24, clear for takeoff.
Downwind departure approved, clear for takeoff, runway 24, 4 Mike Charlie.
Delta 2907, radar contact, the altitude. American 2907, radar contact, the altitude.
American 2907 passing 2700 for 5,000.
American 2907, cleared, direct STOEN, climb and maintain 10,000, 10,000.
Whoop. Cleared to STOEN up to 10,000, American 2907.
Delta 5763, descend and maintain 3,000.
3000, Delta 5763.
Okay, flaps up. How about that, folks? That's about as quick as I've ever ran checklist. I hope I didn't stomp on missing anything. Don't think I did. Flaps are up. Spoilers are unarmed.
Delta 8882 cleared. Direct fail air. Alpha India Romeo.
Okay. And just autopilot on. Climb detent. Flaps are up. Engine mode still normal. We're on our way. All right, folks. Hope you're enjoying this. It's a nice run here with Viewer Appreciation Month. What the heck did I do there? Oh my goodness, I don't know what I did on that chart, but I did something. All right, here we go. And we are now climbing decently. Meant to do that earlier, but I think you all knew a lot of things happening all at once. All right, but again, thanks for the great raid, Raiders. Again, wish and hope you hit that follow button so you can follow us as we continue our adventures this month hitting destinations. There is a link there for an invite to the Discord channel so you can hop in our flight suggestions.
November 30 Juliet, 30 miles from Burke, cross Burke at or above 2,600, cleared RNAV, runway 24 approach.
So that way, you know.
Burke at 2,600 or higher, cleared RNAV, approach 24 through Sierra Juliet.
Is he like not on a...
American 2907, fly present heading, vector for your climb and maintain 16,000, 16,000.
Continue on heading up to 16,000 with vectors, American 2907. Was that 16,000 for American? Sorry, I just mind meld.
Worries, American 2907, fly present heading, climb and maintain 16,000, 16,000.
Okay. All right, we got 16,000 now set here. We're out of 10,000. American 2907, thanks.
American 2115, descend and maintain 17,000, 17,000. The Baltimore altimeter 2988.
Down to 17,000, 2988 on the altimeter, United, correction, American 2115.
All right, something must be out there, so let's...
November 847, Mike Charlie, radar contact, the altitude.
Currently 2,400 at 4 Mike Charlie.
Number 7, Mike Charlie, thanks. Proceed on course, maintain VFR.
On course, maintain VFR, 4 Mike Charlie.
And we're starting...
National aircraft on frequency, New York Center will be closing within about 8 minutes.
I hope you're going to let me turn.
American 2907, climb and maintain flight level 380.
Up to 380, still heading 281. Are we cleared on course?
American 2907 on course in just a bit.
Copy that. We'll continue westward. American 2907 up to 38,000.
American 2115, cross Clipper at 12,000, 12,000.
Clipper at 12,000, American 2115.
That must be him. All right, we're just continuing up. We're getting to standard. Oh, I can also kill the lights then.
American 2907 cleared, direct Gordonsville, Golf Victor Echo.
Golf Victor Echo, direct for 2907. Find that.
Delta 5763, turn left heading 300, intercept the localizer.
Left 300, intercept localizer 27, right, Delta 5763.
Okay, and we'll continue managed up to 38. There we go, folks, making our turn on course. Well, in a way, we're going to be direct all the way out of DC's, I believe, is where Gordon Victor Echo. He'll be going offline here shortly, so. All right, folks, but again, welcome in. Thank you for being a part. This has been actually been a fun.
American 2115, contact Potomac approach 119.85. Have a good day.
Over to Potomac approach, American 2115. See
Hang
ya.
on a second, folks.
Delta 8882, leaving my airspace. Cleveland Center is closed. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved. Have a good day and happy 4th of July.
Lieutenant Unicom, thanks for the help. Have a happy 4th, Delta 8882. Have a good 4th of July too, from 3 Sierra Juliet.
Oh my gosh.
November 3 Sierra Juliet, say again.
Happy 4th, 3 Sierra Juliet.
I hate people like that have to fly with the speakers and their mic.
November 3 Sierra Juliet, wind 240 at 6, runway 24, clear to land.
Runway 24, clear to land at 3 Sierra Juliet.
November 847 Mike Charlie, contact New York approach 128.12. Have a good day and happy 4th of July.
Alright, 128.12, same to you, for my Charlie.
Delta 5763, 6 miles from Martin, maintain 3000 until established on the localizer, cleared ILS, runway 27, right approach.
3000 to establish and cleared ILS 27, right, Delta 5763.
Okay, folks, sorry for being quiet. Just a little noisy here, especially that one airplane. I'd go in and turn them down on the Windows speaker, but then I'll miss something, and that's never a good thing. So
American 2907, leaving my airspace. Washington Center is closed. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved. Have a good day and happy 4th of July.
happy 4th to you as well. 2907 over to Unicom. Have a great day. Okay, we're there. Now things are a lot better. We can talk easier. All right, folks. Oh, we still got landing lights on. I got gigged. All right. What are we at altitude-wise? All right, folks. We're through 26,000, headed for 38,000. We are on our way. We're passing over Potomac approach, and estimation has us at oh, that's the wrong place to be. 2 hours to Sarasota and the beach. So again, folks, welcome in. Thanks again for the raid from Bad Attitude again. 2 in a row. Appreciate you, sir. And Raiders, we love having you aboard. Love for you to smash that follow button and join us. This will be and is being recorded and will be uploaded directly to YouTube at the completion. Give it a couple hours and it'll be out there if you missed anything. So we're going to push the videos lined up closer to August. So if you are looking forward to a particular video, hey, give me a shout on the Discord and I can always make it happen earlier. But every video, every run that we do here is going to go pretty much directly to YouTube. So by the middle of the night, it should be out there and going. All right, so we are through our climb almost. Let's see what it looks like outside. Now, this is one of American Airlines. Now, there's a whole story here, folks, why I chose this. American Airlines is the name of the airline. However, the colors I'm flying with are historical. It's kind of laughable to say this with America West, considering that airline is who brought American out of bankruptcy by buying them. But America West's leadership, smart enough to know American has a bigger name than America West, so they bought the name as well and kept it. So interesting pieces of history. There's even more diluted as we go back a little further than that, in both terms of meshing a union together, meshing a lot of things together with the merger they did before American Airlines. So, yeah. But anyway, I like this livery. I've always loved America West's liveries, the old and the newer one they had prior to the American one. I actually like the U.S. Airways American merger better in those colors, but you know, this is fine. But yeah, there's a lot of, this is an interesting story here, folks. You can even tag it all the way back to the story of TWA, because that's got some things in it I didn't even know about, and I love TWA. I miss them to death. And wow, and I gotta really look at some pictures, folks, because what I'm hearing in the videos I've watched, what we flight simmers have put on the side of aircraft may not have been correct. So, but anyway, yeah, I love this livery, a beautiful aircraft right here. Now they also have PSA, Allegheny, Piedmont on the A319s as well in a historical look. But this one, you're gonna, I mean, you could say historical to a point. So, anyway, I'm gonna leave it there, let you all, you astute viewers of Flying with Mike, do some research. And it's an interesting game of learning with American Airlines. And if you're so challenged, TWA, take it back to about the dawn of the jet age, the dawn of the 707. That's where you're going to really find out some things about TWA that I took for granted looking at aircraft in the flight sim, and it's a flight sim, folks. It ain't reality all the time. So I haven't done the full research yet. Like I said, I plan to do, maybe it worked tomorrow, maybe not, we'll see. But yeah, I want to look into some claims and see some photos of some very iconic TWA aircraft from the 50s and 60s. And maybe even back into the 40s. But anyway, That's back then. This is today. We are American 2907 on VATSIM, as you just heard. We are en route to Sarasota, Florida, one of our destinations for vacations this month. And why did I choose this? Well, July is two things here in the United States. One, obviously, tomorrow, 4th of July. Hence, we are riding out of Philadelphia with the message of independence to Florida. Okay, granted, they didn't have jets back there 250 years ago, but you know what? They did have horses, and they still did it. But it's also a month that many parts of the world, this is vacation month for most people. Holiday, what they call it in Europe, many of the countries. So that's where we're getting the queue here to try this out for every flight. We're not going to be picking up where this one left off. It'll land in Sarasota. Now, granted, to fly the next flight in American, I will, unless I deadhead somewhere or jump seat. But we're going to pick up another flight tomorrow. Actually, it'll be Wednesday in the form of, I believe we're flying from Liege to Barcelona. And then we're going to also fly from Louisville to Newark this week. So, because people like to go to the Big Apple. And from what I've heard, a lot of people in Europe love to head to Barcelona this time of the year. Yesterday, we did some Greek island flying. So, we got some others coming up, culminating Saturday, the 15th, and you all are invited, your viewers. It's viewer appreciation. Honolulu to Tokyo. And we're going to be flying a Clipper, not a Clipper not a Boeing Clipper, but a Boeing 747 from Honolulu to Narita. So that ought to be a fun, it's about a 9-10 hour run, folks. So look for a very much earlier start. For that nice adventure across the pond, the Pacific Pond. Look forward to having a whole bunch of you meeting up along the way. You got Wake, you got Midway, you got Guam. Any of those can meet up to meet into Narita if you're not into 10-hour flights. Or come up from other Far East destinations like Taiwan and China and Korea, Philippines. But yeah, there's going to be more details coming out to the Discord channels, folks, on timing and all of that. So, all right, looking at the aircraft, I can tell we've leveled off. Let's get in here, do a couple quick checks, like get the seatbelts up. I'm sure these people want to stretch. Do a system check here. All right, actually, that is not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but we'll get it balanced out. Cross feeds coming on. So now both sets of tanks are firing to both engines, fuel, until I do this dastardly thing and turn those pumps off. So now the right side is powering with fuel, the left, both left and right. Shouldn't take long to get down there, folks. I'm actually lower than I was thinking. I thought it was 49. It's actually 48. So it's going to take just a couple seconds, or about a minute or two. Yeah, I thought I was reading 49 over here on the left side. I was way off, so glad I double checked. But I hope y'all are having a great Monday, especially those of you off in between the holiday and the 4th itself on Tuesday. All right, folks, bear with me a second here. Let me make it read fuel again. All right, we're looking good. Cross feeds off. And we'll head on back down and finish up the checks. Actually, I want to go up here. Let's go ahead and warm the cabin a little bit. Cool the cockpit since we got the sun right in on us. All right, we'll see how that configuration goes. All right, and how we looking here? Okay, let me go back to that one. Okay, now I know y'all are going, well, whoopee, the doors and all we hope are closed. No, we're actually more worried about the cockpit pressure. That's the tank here that the pilots will breathe off of if we have to do an emergency descent. So that's why that is so critical. Okay, wheels, covers are closed, brakes look good. Finally, this, albeit just tells you the position of each of your surfaces, your ailerons, rudder or elevators and rudder, your pitch trim, but it also tells you which hydraulic system powers the left aileron, the right aileron, the left elevator, the right elevator, and so forth. So you can kind of see where that comes in handy. Status page, obvious, tells you what's broke, what's not, and then you click all again. We're back. From the status page, we can click recall. Everything's normal, clear. And we got a nice general overview of the aircraft. I am going to go ahead. I'm going to leave it set at 75 degrees. That should be pretty good for our passengers. And we are on our way to the beach, folks. Sarasota, Florida, to be exact. So enjoy the ride. Thank you so much for being a part of us. Thank you, Raiders, for coming in. Thank you for the follows, and would love to see you on the future flights. Next up, like I said, is, and I'm going to double check because I thought I had it here and I was incorrect. All right, coming up. So today we head to Florida from Philly, so we're leaving Independence Hall, headed to Florida with the message of independence. Tomorrow is Independence Day, and unfortunately I'm not getting the day off. That's fine. But the 5th, I'm sorry, I missed a flight this week. Shame on that pilot up there. What a loose nut behind the wheel. We're going to fly from Midway. Now, this is to be determined. Now, I have an idea floating around in the fog up in that brain of mine of what we're going to fly aircraft-wise, but not 100% set on it yet. I could be swayed. Discord channel, if you have a vote on which plane you would like. Midway Airport, Chicago, to Ronald Reagan, Washington, D.C. Now, that's going to be a later start than today. Coming home from work, Now, granted, that one shouldn't be as bad. Normally, I don't get a lot of sleep at work, so sometimes I end up taking naps. So I try to plan the flight to be after 1800Z, just because of that. Uh, Case in point, had we flown a scheduled flight Sunday, I didn't sleep, but maybe an hour, maybe two at the most at work. I'm a firefighter. I get it. It happens. Uh, I'm going to leave it at that. That's very sore subjects and doesn't need to, my laundry doesn't need to air here. Um, so we would have never even made it off the ground at 1800Z. When we got off the ground, I forget the time yesterday. Um, yeah, it was at least 2 or 3 hours after that. So yeah, that's why I put that stipulation. Now, like I said, we may be able to go earlier on Wednesday. We'll see. But anyway, it's Chicago's Midway Airport, not the big, fancy, long runwayed one, the 6,000-foot runways of Midway, headed to the 7,000-foot runway of Ronald Reagan there in D.C. Again, 4th of July, tagging in places people like to go. They're leaving Philly for anywhere but Philly. And same thing with Chicago. They're trying to escape Chicago, but unfortunately they're going to the rat trap of DC. But people like going there. And then Thursday is the Liege to Barcelona. Okay. And then next week's the other flight that I mentioned to New York City. All right. So a lot of interesting things coming. We also have a somewhat long flight, not to the length. I will be right back, folks. Okay, folks. My wife took the call out of the office here. My apologies, and I've totally lost track of where I was. Someone's memory cells are better than mine. You can put me back on track. But anyway, folks, we're on our way to Sarasota. Again, sorry about that. Me and the wife do share the same office space, so when she gets a business call, especially related to students and all, or anything related internally with the businessing, I go mute immediately so that she that information stays between her and whoever's calling, be it student, faculty, whatever. So that's why those abrupt ends come in. Sometimes less hard as that one really came in hard on us. So sorry. Completely ended a train of thought going, and that train of thought somewhere back probably in the DC area where we'll be on the 5th. So, all right. So we're going to go on, folks, and that way if she does need to get in here for stuff, come back. We're not too overbearing on her. So do apologize for that very abrupt cutoff there. Hate when that happens, but you know, when you share an office, that's gonna happen. All right, looking up here on the VATSIM, we are clear of centers. So we'll see how that transpires as we progress southward. We are clearing out of Potomac approach if we were to have been a lot lower. And looking like, yeah, everything is right now pretty copacetic as we head towards Sarasota. Interesting thing about Sarasota, and it's not to deal with American Airlines. I'm going to tell you, one of the things I look at with the airline that comes into the airport I work at, Allegiant, you know, it's amazing if you look in Florida at all the quote, and I use it that way, hubs they have. And it's amazing, one, the number of hubs in one state, but two, how successful this airline is with that many hubs, literally in some places on top of each other. Case in point, Sarasota, Florida. I just mind boggles me. They have a hub in Tampa. Folks, that's not that far north. That's maybe, okay, you guys in Florida can say I'm over exaggerating. That's like 50 miles to the north. 50, folks. That ain't far. Fort Myers in the form of Punta Gorda to the south. Maybe 50 to 100 miles. Again, right there. 3 big hubs right there. And I do mean big for them. Punta Gorda and St. Pete are really big. Throw in Disney World up there in Orlando. Well, they use Sanford. That might get them a little more than 100 miles from those 3. Folks, they like own Central Florida with the amount of hubs they have. Now, granted, they don't fly like American. They are pretty much strictly vacation airlining, meaning those of you wanting to get to the beach, those of you wanting to get to SeaWorld or Mickey World or Universal, this is what you fly. Now, if you're going on business or stuff like that, when you need to go now, then you look to the other airlines. But if you're, you know, vacationing, you work to block your times to get those $18 trips, you know, per person flights. They may not be every day, but I'm going to tell you, some destinations are. I'm not going to reveal that. I mean, it's not hard to figure them out. So, at least out of St. Louis, at our airport that I work at, Mid-America. So, but anyway, just mind boggles me, folks, and just how successful they are. I can't even fathom how an airline like that can do that. Because, case in point, 2001, when American finally bought out TWA from bankruptcy. One of the few big legacy airlines to come out of deregulation still alive. Of course, you had United, you had Delta, you had American, you had Northwest, Continental. Of course, the latter two would eventually fall. U.S. Airways, I don't know if you would call that a quote legacy airline. But it was, and again, I don't even know if you can call the ones that came together to make U.S. Airways, call it legacy. But, it's to each their own in that one. But when American bought out TWA, now TWA's hubs were L.A., St. Louis, Kansas City was, I guess, a hub, but more maintenance, but it was really still a hub. So they had those two together, and then New York City and Miami. I think they had Miami. Don't quote me on that one. American comes in. Now, we all know American had Chicago, Dallas. I'm missing one, JFK and LA. I know I'm missing. So anyway, so you had Chicago, St. Louis, and Dallas now, and they pretty much decimated St. Louis. They completely dismantled LA. Pretty much did the same in New York City to TWA's just amazing hub terminal they had in JFK. Very futuristic looking. If you're not sure, look at JetBlue. That was required to stay, folks, when JetBlue embarked on the remodel of that. The outside terminal portion of it, where you come into the ticketing area for Terminal 5. So to see Allegiant with hubs within 100 miles of each other, it's amazing. And the fact that they're doing as good as they are, just, I shake my head at. How do you do that? They do it. But again, we're not flying Allegiant. We're flying this. So, yeah, just some amazing things when you dig into these airlines, folks. Again, I gave you one research project, American Airlines. It's an interesting history course, folks, of the last, 23 years? Don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's more if I wanted to go back. Yeah, just the last 20 years. So, from the TWA buyout to today. So, there we are, folks, high above North Carolina, headed down to Florida, otherwise known as Florida to everyone else. Okay, what is Southwest mumbling about 1985? Which was a fair year, folks. I'm pretty sure that's not what they're trying to get at. Oh, Potomac Approach. Not sure what they're trying to do. Interesting. But there you go, folks. One thing X-Plane 12 can do that other sims can't easily. Flybys. Both fast. And as one of our moderators says, he likes it this way, seems to him more realistic. Yeah, I get it. Probably not going to have something hovering 38,000 feet to fly by. But on this one, I can change the angle you look at it. So Now you can do this in other sims, but you have to download tools to be able to do that. Just like when we do the replay, if everything comes together right and works. I still kind of call it beta. I know Austin would smack me and say, no, it's not, not. But, I mean, they're still testing things out, trying things out, tweaking here, tweaking there. And so every now and then I get a crash to desktop on the replay. Although not as much as lately. So we had a really good set of flybys yesterday. We were able to do the replays and all yesterday, day before or a couple days before, whenever the last streams were. So it's been kind of hit or miss. So we'll see how it works out when we get to Sarasota. But for now, folks, let's just kind of relax, enjoy the ride. Hey, folks, it's technically, to many people, they consider this a holiday as well. Because why go to work today when you're going to be off to work tomorrow? That's usually why. But anyway, to some, that's blasphemy. So, all right, we will get some music going here, folks, and hope you enjoy the ride. That was cool. He just passed us. And just as quick, we can't see him. Oh, well. That was cool. Alright folks, hang on a second here. I'm going to be doing some tweaking here. I just realized my sound for Microsoft was like almost emptied. So let me get some external sounds set properly here. Wow. How am I set now? Hang on. Oh, another one just passed us. How about that? The Southwest flight. Let's go with that. I hope that's pretty good, folks. All right. What I'm trying to do is when we fly the A320 from ToLiss, the Neo, you can actually hear in the Pratt version Neos, the howls that happen. So I want to make sure we have that in case it's available for this guy. So, matter of fact, what were we? I didn't check this yesterday. Oh, 1.8. Okay. Okay, one thing I did fail to show you all on takeoff that you could do without using the McDo. This aircraft comes with a nice EFB that you can work the takeoff information, put it in correctly, hit compute, and it'll give you your numbers. We'll be doing it for landing, just not now. Also, you have Avatab. There's my frame rates if you all were curious. And I want to say I am the high def, so I'm not wimping out here, folks, and going like I do with the ToLiss, or not ToLiss, Zebo, where I may not fly the 4K, because that one I do see some frame rate hits because, well, my system isn't really set up for 4K. So, but, you know, we have fun. And yes, we have flights planned for that aircraft as well. I know you can hear you Airbus guys, we want Boeing. We want Boeing. Well, I happen to like Airbus. I think it's it's a fun, it's an easy plane. Boeings, they're easy. They just can get a little feisty here and there. Alright, so enough of me. Let's just kind of relax, enjoy this hour and 15 minutes that we have as we head on down to good old Sarasota. One day I'm hoping to be able to connect up on here and be able to get told to climb, descend, switch frequencies, what have you. It works. I've done it once with the Toliss A320, but never seemed to find anyone in the US that's running on ACARS. Don't know if it's just something they don't want to play with or what. Alright, but we're 411 miles out, folks, from top of descent. Currently 530 miles out. So you know what? I hate to say this. Let's go ahead and get that arrival brief started, shall we? We'll kind of keep the music in the background. Hopefully it's not too overpowering. We'll find out here. Okay, but we like to use Sim Toolkit, folks. So let's bring it up. And I am looking to see, let's go to the big map, see if it's up and running yet. One more step, come on. Okay, does not look like the ATC link is coming in. Alright, so we'll go to flight status. And you can tell I don't know if ground is still up. Charlotte, though, is. Oh, the dog is so grumpy. Unbelievable. Anyway, but there's where we are, folks. You can see there's the flight that went by us. And another one over here headed to Charlotte. Probably where all of these guys are. Let's kind of zoom down. Alright. Let's pull up NavGraph. Alright, again, folks, a fantastic program here. If you don't have Sim Toolkit, shame on you, it's free. A lot of tools in there to help you plan your next trip, help you to figure out your next trip, as well as plan it and then monitor, see what traffic's around you. And here, let me pull it away. And if the ATC side of the house is working, you would see them as well. But right now it appears it's not. But usually it is. I don't know if it is over on Volanta or not. Not flying it, so I don't know. All right, but we've coupled NavGraph, another great program. It is payware. If you're updating your FMCs, folks, it's a little bit more to tack it on as well. And folks, you get up-to-date worldwide charts. So you're not scrambling to find the free ones. They're hard sometimes in some areas to find them. They are extremely difficult. Unless you're a real-world pilot with a real-world chart case with all of them in it, God love you. But we're not all that. We don't have that briefcase with us. And so it's nice to have them in this nice, concise format. So what I've done here, add to it, one of the big things charts, when they updated from the last version to what they now call 8, was they were going to eventually have an overlay for weather. Well, they finally got around to it and got it put in there. Let me just kind of back out because I'm not sure. You can start seeing some weather starting to show up here and there. It's kind of a calmer weather day, thank goodness. We have been rocked hard here in St. Louis, the Midwest. But you can see the country for right now has kind of gone tranquil. We do have a lot of waves coming off Africa, so who knows? Will we see 2 more tropical systems? We're already up to Cindy. We're not just into July, folks. We're still a little behind, but yeah, you can see the weather. Again, you get over to Europe, you get over to Africa and Asia, they kind of get iffy if you're going to see anything, because it's kind of iffy if the radar systems are, one, coupled to this, whatever they're using, and 2, if they actually have any. All right, so let's talk approach. Luber 3. Okay, and I'm going to also at the same time pull up the PUPYY, and we're going to take a look at it first as a look at, do we have all the right fixes. So let's come on down here to KYYUU. What a name for a fix. KYYUU is what I'm, KYYUU. KYYUU. Why don't we just say, hey, you. Windward, Spaz, Batten. So you can see it here. Spaz, Batten, Luber, Zeben, Rooney, Becker. That'll be the next page as we go through. Now, I could be looking at them here, but I'm just right now choosing not to. That being the nav display, just realized it's covered up. So there's Breaker. Breaker 19. Anyway, sorry folks, my old trucker day came back. And then we have Woody, Life, see that right here. Then we're going to be dropping down to Murdo. We're landing 3-2. Almost said it, folks. We have 3-2 right. I almost said landing 3-2 right. All right, and there's Murdo. At or above 3,000 feet per the charting. I'm going to probably aim for 3,000 feet and start slowing us in the turn to our approach speed. So we can, by the time we roll onto the ILS, flaps and gear are just about fully deployed. Okay. ZAPCU. All right, so there we have all of our fixes. Okay, so we're going to hold it right there for now. Now, let's get up here into this corner and see what this is all about. Okay, there's our ATIS, 124, 375. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. And I don't know what settings in the system to get it to come on when I'm online. That's mostly me, folks. And it does this also when I was on FSX. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, I told you in the beginning, I've never been on Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, nor do I ever plan to be, or its forerunner coming. A lot of reasons. I gave you hints at them. That's as far as we're going to go. Got to have DME or IRU. You have, and or a GPS to fly this. And you got to be a jet or turboprop aircraft. So you piston aircraft, radar, blah, blah, blah. You got all that. SPAS transition is ATC approved only. Huh, didn't know there was one, but it's right there. Okay, so from Luber, we go to Zebun, to Rooney, to Breaker. Then from Breaker, 211 to Woody. Okay, and then to Life, and that's where the split happens, okay? So from Life, then on to Murdo, at or above 3,000, then 228, or as ATC assigns, to expect our vectors onto the approach course. All right, so there's your star here, folks. And it's valid for 1-4 and 3-2. So you can see if we were going the other way, we'd head to this one and come around. Okay, now 3-2. This is our ILS approach. All right, again, ATIS, tower, approach and ground. Localizer 109.7. Most of your new generation aircraft, next generation as Boeing calls their 737s, Airbus, they automatically will put this in. Now 737 will not. You got to do that one. They're not as next gen as this plane. But most of the other planes above them, you're okay. They'll set it. Maybe not the 57, the 67, you got to set it, but the big ones, you're fine. 109.7, we'll double check that it's down here when we go to LS. Glad I just remembered that. Hang on. Go to airport. And folks, there's the, oh, you don't see it, so we'll get back to it later. And we'll go to airports, and they'll show up around what we could use. All right, so 109.7, India, Sierra, Romeo, Quebec is what it's identified as with the Morse code. 319 for the final approach. Ringy. Now, as you look here, it is 7 miles roughly. DME to the runway. That is where we got to be at 1,800 feet on the glide slope. Okay, when we get to programming the McDo, You're going to be programming in things like the altimeter, the temperature, the winds, and decision altitudes or height. Now, what I do here, okay, let you know these figures are the exact same point in the sky, just measured from a different standard, if you will. Bold is above sea level, or we call it MSL, mean sea level. The 200 is above the ground, which is what most of your clouds are put at. Why? Because if you're in Bolivia and you see 200 feet, well, if you're in Bolivia landing at El Alto, well, you're already at 13,000 feet above sea level. So 200 feet above sea level, that cloud's in the earth. So that's why it's above ground. And we could do Denver. You know, I took an extreme, folks. It's a good one to use for that. So 200 feet above the ground. So when we get to programming it, what I do is one is the top one is mean M. Anyway, it's got MDA. Yeah, MDA. The M in it I take as the mean sea level one. So I take the number in bold and put that there. The one below it, you can only put one in. Can't put them both in because they're the same value, folks, in essence. The other one is your value above the ground, 200. They're exactly the same point in the sky, folks, just where are they read from? Okay, then you've got your instructions down here. Of course, 18,000 for transition. I know you guys in Europe are going, well, that's boring. You don't ever change that. It's also pretty easy, folks. Europe can get kind of tricky. I've even run into where that transition level changes in a country. This airport decides it wants it here. This airport wants it here. And that in itself makes it tricky. So, anyway, but you know, that's the fun thing about flying, folks. On simulator, we get to experience that where most of your airline pilots here in the United States will never experience flying in Europe because they're not international pilots till they get further along in their careers, if they're at one of those airlines that do those kind of flights across the oceans. Otherwise, most of North America, folks, is 18,000 feet. Most of Central America is the same. However, there are a couple that aren't. And don't push me on to which ones they are. I've forgotten. Okay, here we go. Sabku. Hey, we were just talking about that. Ringy. We were just talking about that. Zaldi. Okay, that's not on the list, but that's okay. We're on the localizer at that point. And there you go. Sarasota, 17170, SRQ. Okay, so we're going to be coming in. Remember, Ringy is 1,800 feet, and when you see the X marking the spot like a treasure map, you got to be on glide slope at the same point. Then you come down your 3 degrees. Today will be probably 130 on the approach. So that means we're going to fly this line. Meaning we're going to kind of guesstimate what it is. It's going to be, I'm calling it usually right around 700 to 705 feet a minute. Okay. And we're looking at, let's see. Let's go with 2 minutes 30 seconds from 7 miles out, 7 miles roughly out, 6.8, to the missed approach point. That's not to the runway, folks. That's to when the timer hits 2 minutes, we'll call it 30 seconds. We look up, we don't see the runway, go around. Pretty simple. Okay, and then we got a Mauser for the approach lighting system and a PUPYY on the left-hand side. This is our missed approach diagrammically. Like that word? Let's add that to Webster's. And this is it written out up here. All right, again, here's our minimums. Oh, okay, I see what they're doing. Okay, so when the tower is open, tomorrow, the possibility it may not be. And you're like, well, you can't fly an airliner then. Wrong. Can. Case in point, 50 miles south of where we're going, Punta Gorda, according to my father, who was a pilot, while they were building up that airport to the way it looks today for Allegiant, there was no tower, but yet Allegiant went in and out. They have a thing called common traffic frequency, and Allegiant, or they can get on that and land. So it is very much able to happen. But we got to, well, so, you know, we could, technically, we don't have a tower coming in. Okay, so you can see the difference. Minimum's 200 feet for clouds, half-mile visibility, with as long as everything else is working, folks. ILS, when the tower is in up, we aren't using this one. We're going to this one now, 360 and a mile, or 333 and a mile. Okay, that's all. Things come up for that. So there you go, folks. You got the chart portion. And I am going to hold off on the performance side of the house here till we get in a little closer. For now, let's just kind of take a break from it and enjoy the sights and sounds of our lovely A319. All right, let's get the latest METAR out of the machines here. Nothing new, folks. Don't know if it'll give us an ATIS. Okay. And let's see what messages we have. Okay, new. Let's see this one. Okay, ATIS. Now, if Jacksonville or Miami, we're in that zone, folks. I think that would fall Miami. where you're in what I call no man's zone. You don't know which one controls you. If there was an ATIS on VATSIM, it would put it forth here. However, let's get the latest METAR. Okay, latest is 270 at 10. 10 miles visibility, clear, 33, you know, beautiful day, although they have some lightning in the area. Distant northeast and southeast. Ooh, we're gonna have to look. Oh, it's past them. Hopefully. Alright, doesn't say if they're moving, and with winds westward, I would expect them to move away. Okay, and I can go right back to where I was. And what I'm going to do right now, folks, is try and find us. Well, I'm not going to be able to try and find. See if we can't get a controller. Okay. Wow. And just so you know, SimAware is not showing weather on SimAware. The storms are not coming in, so obviously they must not be too intense. Alright, so a lot of virtual American pilots appear to be hanging out down in Miami, while the other three of us are out here humping all the work for them. Gotta have my fun. Now their map does show showers west of Sarasota. All right. So with that forecast, let's go over here. Let's go ahead and start the process. First off, let's see where we are on the map. Kind of in between Augusta and Savannah. Alright, so let's pull up the weight and balance again. Currently we're looking at 120.7, probably pretty close. We're going to go to landing. For now, look at that. The METAR seems to be matching up. 33, 30-1, lightning distant northeast to south and southeast. Alright, so full flaps, we'll go with that. Standby, we didn't really brief runway too much length. So we're landing 95, whoa. Why are they saying 8,300? Do we have a displace threshold? I think we do. Alright folks, hang on a second. I think we have a displace threshold that I'm not aware of. I would have gone for the whole runway not knowing it. Holy mackerel. Okay, it's official. Got 8,300 feet of runway, just like it says here, folks. Now, how'd it do that? Interesting how that just... Again, 300, long time no see. Welcome in, sir. How is your Monday going? Let's go with medium, reversers, of course. Okay, and we don't need any ice, so... Awesome to hear, sir. Awesome. All right, so let's do a quick compute. We'll come back later and verify all of this. 126 will be our approach speed. We're going to eat up about 3,900 feet. So leaving us about 4,400 feet of runway. With this runway, gotta find the terminal. Okay, so we're gonna probably, we don't have a land and hold short. Oh wow, they're displaced on both ends. Okay. No, we'll just do the best we can, and we'll try to get it before the runway, if not after the runway. And for us, we are looking at hang on a second, going to FlightAware to see what the real flight did. I believe it was yesterday or the day before. Gate Bravo 3 we're going to aim for. Okay, so Bravo 3 appears to be, if you're looking right, oh, you don't have this yet, folks, hang on. Real quick to give you an idea where we're going to attempt to end up here. There's Bravo 3 right there. Okay. So we'll land, try to get off here at Bravo. If not, we'll cross over, grab Delta or whatever to get back. But that's the aiming point right there. Okay. As we take a look out the left side of the aircraft, to the right, and you're of course not seeing all of this. There you go. Oh, nice, nice. Big in 300 says he's getting the honeycomb yoke and Bravo controls. Outstanding. My only hesitation in those, folks, and this is just me, I'm not saying anything bad about it. I've heard nothing but great things about the honeycombs. I have to then buy foot rudders, because from what I understand, you can't do the rudder from them. I know a lot of people already have it. I don't. I use a HOTAS fighter style setup here, throttle, stick, and by twisting the stick, you turn the aircraft rudder and nose gear. Again, I know, and true to form with Airbus, you would need a tiller and all that good stuff. I'm not getting that deep into it, folks. I know some love to. Power to you. Some go even a lot further than that. Power to them. Going to be helping one out. And one of our moderators, folks, Hawker, is going to the extreme, as I call it, but you know, it's to his what he is searching for, taking a fuselage of a plane and turning it into a flight sim. Only thing it won't be is full motion. Although knowing him, he won't be happy till it is. Me, I wouldn't be happy till it actually leaves the ground and flies, but you know, hey, I don't have a couple $1 million burning a hole in my pocket to make a plane be able to do that, or buy a plane. But kudos to him for trying, and look forward to helping him out when he's ready for that next step. All right, let me get in here and see where we stand to top a descent. About 170 miles out. Trying to figure out what the heck page I was on, folks. I have no idea. All right, expected fuel 5.1. We're looking real good, folks. Everything's lining up. Fuel predictions. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Anytime you want to head up into the sky, sir, we're headed to Sarasota. Should be there in about, what, 30 minutes? 35 minutes? Something like that. $35 minutes. All right, let's see. Centers are popping up here. Fort Worth, Indy, and Houston. And folks, I need to do this. I do need to make a timer here. I'll do it after the flight. So it's easily rememberable for y'all. Saturday, mark your calendars. Saturday, 15th of June. Make sure I got the right day number. Hang on. Yeah, Saturday the 15th. I don't have a start time yet. Get them. Awesome. Look forward to it there, Big N300. But anyway, Saturday the 15th, we're planning a long haul flight. So folks, there's your chance to really join in. A lot of points you can come in if you don't want to do the same flight I'm planning. We're all for that. We are going to fly from Honolulu, Hawaii, to Tokyo's Narita Airport. Clipper, I'm not sure of the flight. I think it's 831, and it's a Boeing 747-200 flight for us. Hopefully We're not going to have a lot of disconnects with VATSIM. Hopefully we'll stay on. We'll see between now and then how that all works out. But yes, Saturday the 15th, my goal is no later than, hang on, I'm doing the math in the head, 1500 Zulu, I believe, is 10 o'clock Central. The reason I say that, folks, this is a 9-10 hour flight. Now, I know a lot of you out there aren't, oh my God, 9 to 10 hours? Pick us up at Midway. There's a reason why the airport's called Midway. Or Guam. Or Kadena, Naha, in Okinawa, China, Taipei, or somewhere in Taiwan, or any other, Shanghai, China, Incheon, and time it to where we'll be getting there. When we take off, it's going to be whatever it says on the clock up at the top there. Guessing about 9-10 hours. Feel free to chime in. We'll see if we'll open the Discord channel up, as long as people behave and don't start swearing and cursing on it, because then I will mute it again. We'll see, but we are planning that. That is the day. That's the day we're going to celebrate on, when Flying with Mike, the viewers put Flying with Mike on Twitch as an affiliate. We crossed over the line and became affiliate. That's the day we're going to celebrate that. So we're going to do it in grand style with the Queen of the Sky. So 15th of July, no later than 10 o'clock Central Time is when I want to be wheels up, so that in 9-10 hours we can be on the ground, because I got to work the next day, folks. So I don't want to be too tired to go for work and all. So hope to see a lot of you there. But this whole month is Viewer Appreciation Month, and I just want to say thank you. It's you guys that put me over. Not this guy, but the loose nut behind the wheel. Okay, in this case, a stick. It's not me, folks. This was all about you all putting us over. And I'm just saying thank you. All right, so we're about 30 minutes out, and let's take a look here to see how we're doing. 127 to top a descent. You get that figure, folks? Here, let me blow up the screen here. 126 right here on the perf page. Here's all our fixes. We go to perf, gives you that. All right, I'm going to do one more system check here before we start plugging away at the McDo. And to do a system check, folks, all you got to do is just click through the all button. It'll take you through each one of these buttons. We're on the bleeder, and you just make sure things are not red. Make sure switches and dials and all have been switched properly. Now we're on the pressurization. Oh, hits the right button, helps the pressurization page. And so forth. Well, as I say it a lot of times, folks, when I hear this song in the background, I don't know how well you hear it. It just reminds me of Batman. And I can't right now give you the one, any of the Dark Knight. Just the music behind that, just what this sounds like to me. who knows? Comes 15th of June, maybe we'll be in X-Plane 12.06, and we'll have the new cirrus clouds and those pyramiding clouds. The pyramids, hopefully less than, you're kind of seeing it ahead of us, and the cirrus clouds in place, along with other included updates coming. Yeah, we've actually seen the pyramids. Usually it's over the oceans. I've actually seen them upside down now. So, yeah. I don't know what they're trying to represent from the weather data, but they are kind of funny when you see them. But you can kind of see what we mean. See how they're forming what looks like a pyramid? This isn't in full form. Don't know if we'll find any that are. Like I said, over the oceans where you really find them. Pacific mainland is where I've really seen them, is the Pacific. But not to say they won't be anywhere else. Yeah, that's the only one. But yeah, it's just this big looking pyramid you're heading for. Nothing. Your airplane doesn't get flipped over or anything like that. I just don't know what they're trying to represent. Is it thunderstorms? What? So we'll see what comes of that when they get rid of them. And I can't wait to see the cirrus, what that will look like. I remember FSX in that if it said clear, you still had cirrus, which that kind of defeats the purpose of a clear message in METARs. But that's how it was way back when. All right, folks, and feel free, as the invite just came up, to head over to our Discord channel. I'm just looking, somebody's got a event coming. Seeing if we could tag into it. All right, but anyway, the invite was up there, folks. You're more than welcome. Sure, always welcome Big and 300 to request a flight. Think you're in our Discord channel? Feel free to head over to flight schedules and or flight suggestions, put it in there, or right up here. And I'll repeat that. Ooh, what movie is this? Oh. I have a computer here that's not logged into Twitch, so I know we're in a commercial break for those that aren't subscribed. Ah, the Indiana Jones movie. Okay. All right, for those of you, we'll wait one more commercial and then we'll try it again. Twitch has to make their money off me somehow. All right, folks, we're back from the break. Sorry about that. But yeah. Yeah, you're more than welcome to request a flight when you get your stuff. You can put it in flight suggestions, or you can always just, DM me. I know you're on our Discord channel, or at least I thought you were. So you could definitely let me know. We could definitely fly a flight. And you can see now it's not so much pronounced as a pyramid over here as it was earlier. So we'll see how things go. But we are within the numbers here, folks. Let's get up here and get the McDo set up. All right, so we're going to go to the landing page. Let me just check. The bad thing is they don't have the Zulu clock here. 1803, so that's about an hour old. So we'll go with it, and if it changes drastically, we'll update. So go next phase, next phase. All right, so for the QNH, you can actually put it in as 3001. However, do it 30.01. There it goes. They're showing temperature of 33. Sure, it might be a little warmer. Wind 270 at 10. All right, now for this next. Okay, 2 to 3 hours are always fun to fly. So yeah, just shoot me when you'd like to, and we'll try to get her rolling here as best we can. All right, so again, MDA DH. So I'm pulling my chart up. The MDA for this approach, ILS 32, shows up in bold as 227 feet, MSL. That's why I go with the bold MSL if I'm going to use that. Now I could use the DH, what's in parentheses. Let me real quick show that to y'all. Okay, so as you look at Sim Toolkit here, okay, granted we're looking at charts, nav graph. Okay, bold 227, that's what I call MSL or above sea level. That's what I would put over here in MDA. What's in parentheses is the radar height or above the ground decision height, 200. Guess what, folks? You're at the same point in the sky, just way again as it's reading from. It's either reading off sea level or it's reading above the ground. Because again, I gave you an extreme example, El Alto, 13,000 feet above sea level. Well, if you put 200 here, folks, you're about 13,000 or 12,800 feet off, way below the runway. Unless you're going into a cave, that could be a possibility. We'll give you that. Doubtful, but I'll give you that one. So you'd put it here, folks, to be 200 feet above the ground, or 13,500 up here. I'm just going to simply put 227. And those of you that want to check me, go right ahead. And we may update this later. All right, so we're going to compute. 126, again, same numbers. All right, and we probably are going to cross, if we hit right down here, we're going to probably cross whatever the crosswind runway is there, 523, I think it is, something like that. All right. So we're programmed for descent now. The only thing we have left to do is set the okay, landing elevation is already set to auto. If it wasn't, what you can do is come up here, straight up and down, folks. 12 o'clock on the needle here, that's auto. McDo arrival complete, performance complete, winds, we'll update those here real quick. If I can remember how, I think that's here, 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 and we're updating. Okay. Now when we go over here, the wind should have updated for our descent. All right. Now, when you look at this hockey stick where my weird looking cursor is, that's your top of descent cue. Okay, that's where we're going to be hitting top of descent. Let me get back in performance. Now 25 miles out. We are showing it in the 80-mile arc. So 40 miles here, 20 miles here. See, we're almost to that. I'm going to go ahead, dial down to 3,000. Okay, and we're just right now. Now, technically, my checklist says we are 20 miles out. We should go top of descent. I'm going to wait. All right, folks, we are 10 miles. Yeah. All right, so let's move in here and make it a little easier to see. All right, to descend. 2 dots is pulling it out. 1 dot is pushing it in. We're going to push it in. We're going to get the dot. It's going to say managed down here. And if you don't believe me, there you go. And then we're going to start our descent. Now this blue kind of squiggly line, that's the point at which this green dot that's right up here will be between this line and this line. Which then means for you Boeing heads and Airbus heads alike, but Boeing, that's when you're on glide slope. That's equivalent, that green dot, to that little descent bar you have over here to tell you how you're doing on your descent. It's the same thing, just depicted differently in Airbus. And finally, this radar is set up, or this nav display is set up for terrain. This one is set up for weather. Okay, now you can see that see the green dots starting to come down. Perfect descent pattern is right in between here. We're just about on top of that, and then we'll steepen our descent. All right, continuing on, speed brakes if needed. Altimeter at transition, landing lights at 10,000. Indeed, constraints and LS. Not yet, we're still too far out. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and kill the music while I'm remembering. And let's take a look out this window. Clouds are looking really good. I'm waiting to get a good, defined cumulonimbus out of them. Don't know if we will. That may actually have to take active sky, which I get it. I do get it. Am I bummed? No. Would love, though, to see a default weather program, though, a default sim bring us that kind of quality, but you're not going to see it. And I get it. I understand. That's a lot of use of a computer that maybe some people don't have, and you want that available to all levels of computers out there. However, those of us that want it, that's why we would then buy Active Sky, or some other weather engine. I can already hear people go, my God, he's going to blow our eardrums out here. Let's find out. I'm going outside, folks, so be ready. Okay, that's not as bad as I anticipated. Let's see how it sounds back here. A little better. But yeah, folks, I'll tell you right now, if it was totally up to me, and technically, I mean, I could play that card, it technically is. It'd be strictly A319, A320 flights. Although, the default A330 and aircraft that have derived out of it, which we'll get to in another stream, would be all you'd see. Although the 747 is fun, these I just totally enjoyed to the max. To where if I could just get a QRH manual or find one or something for the Airbuses, I would really think about getting into doing failures. I know there are some simmers, and there are some of you out there going, why don't you do that? Mainly because I don't know initial procedures. I'm strictly seat of the pants, folks. I don't know where some of you guys actually fly these aircraft and immediately know you do this, 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 and this on all emergencies. This, and this on this kind of failure. And then break open the books if that didn't do it. Or better yet, get on the phone and call Bad Attitude over at dispatch and say, hey, why'd you give me a bad airplane? No. Who would then transfer me right to maintenance, and then I could say the same thing. Actually, it's a coordinated effort, and I do know that. Dispatch is part of the flight crew. In literal terms, folks. They may not be physically in your cockpit, but they are part of the crew. All right, so let's get back up here and see how far we've progressed down to 22,000 feet. So things are looking up, folks, although the clouds are sure not breaking up for clear. Oh, well, what can you say? Of all the things in any flights, I don't care which one you're in, folks. Default always seems to default to cloudy weather, even when it says clear. So, oh well. It's just it cracks me up. Now, we do know there are storms east of Sarasota, so this could be that part of the METAR, north and east. Okay, before I dial down a little bit here on the nav display, this hockey stick up here, that's our end of descent. Okay. This will be our deceleration, and then we head for the ILS. So just giving you a little idea what you're looking at here. We're still on aircraft or airports. We'll come off of that when we go to constraints with the ILS, which will be the landing system here shortly. Want to at least get through transition here. All right, so wing lights back on. And the commercials are back. So, you know what? I am going to take time. We have 3 subscribers that I know of to the channel. Hopefully we have more, but I definitely know of 3. Thank you so much for subscribing. You don't know what that means in helping us to get aircraft for the streams. We are now starting to trickle some scenery in too, so whether I'll put ortho or not's another question, but I want to say thank you. And to say thank you, you get no commercials like everyone else is dealing with right now. So, and you get to see me go through transition here. And 3001. All right, and you're the first one to hear the question that I always ask with the Airbuses. If you know the answer, I would sure love to hear it. Is there a way to preset that altimeter setting before you click setting or standard in Airbuses? You can do it in the 737. I think you can do it in the 767. Haven't tried it. We'll try it in a couple days. I would love to know if you can. All right, and got one more commercial. 15 seconds to go, and we'll have them back. But again, folks, this isn't tongue-in-cheek or anything. This is serious. Thank you so much for your subscriptions. You're being able to hear me, see me, while we're descending. Folks, welcome back. Just went through transition and set the altimeter to 3001, and thanking our subscribers. They're the ones that are able to watch this while you guys were watching commercials. So if you want that ability, well, that's what clicking subscribe. So anyway, that's a total option to you folks. I don't push that on anyone. That's up to you. We'd love to have you. It helps me purchase things for the sim that you all get to see, like Atlanta when we went to Midway last month. Philadelphia, we did that for Memorial Day. The Fearless 747, the A319 320s we were able to purchase off the money that comes in from subscriptions and donations. So something to think about. We would appreciate anything you're willing to offer, but I also will take if you just follow as it, because you know what? That means a lot to us as well. So we just thank that you're here. We thank our viewers, and hope you enjoy the ride into here. All right, we are gonna, as I said, dial down here. Try to get, and again, there's the hockey stick right on Murdo, which is 3,000 feet that I plan. So as we get ready to head through some weather, could I possibly get active sky? There's a lot of questions in my mind about that before I buy it. Back in the days of a Century of Flight, there was not a question in my mind. I had it. It was by far the best add-on I ever bought for a sim. Today, I got a lot of questions, so it's not as cut and dry like it was back then. So, from what I'm hearing, it only enhances. It does not make, or it doesn't come, to me it sounds like it doesn't come to the level of how it was back in its heyday. So I've got to explore and do my research on it too, but that's where, if donations and subscriptions come in to help us being able to purchase those kinds of things. All right, so we are approaching 10,000 feet, folks. We are in the slowdown right now. Let's get those lights on. Okay, we're all set across the board. Okay, now we're going to go into LS. Constraints. LS. Constraints. And we have a little bit of rain. Not much, but a little bit as we head towards the coast now, the Gulf Coast. And again, you can see we're slightly above the requirement, so the aircraft is still managing its descent well. Yeah, I think it's because of speed. Ooh, that looks really good, folks. Hang on, I'm going to get some screenshots. All right, we are still not under 250. There we go. Downwind Sim, welcome in, sir. We appreciate you coming out, supporting us. Sorry, folks. Oh, the allergies. Running rampant now. Not much is new, sir. Just happy 4th to you all and everyone in the stream from the U.S. Hope you all enjoy. We're bringing the message of independence from Philadelphia down here to the beach. Okay, actually, that's not the full excuse, but that sounds good why we're headed to the beach. Took off from Philly, headed to Sarasota. All right, folks, we are now headed to Murdo. And then we'll head over to the, yeah, you know, it's just the story of my life. The raindrops do keep falling on my head. All right, I am going to go ahead and take over speed. And get some speed brakes involved here. We're going to get this thing slowed up. All right, with control of the speed, I am going to go ahead now and activate approach phase. Did I certainly did. I thought I heard that. All right, we're going to go ahead and activate. Be careful, folks, doing this, because when you activate this and it says managed, it slows you to this F speed. So you're going to drag 138 knots. So, but if you've got control of the speed like I do, that'll help prevent that. Oh, my apologies, sir, guys and gals. We have dry mouth big time. Oh, there we got 220 now. I do indeed have the MD-11. If you know how to fly an Airbus, you got that one nailed. And I don't mean that sarcastically, folks, because I can hear the Boeing guys go, they're not the penny for my thought. But no, if you know how to fly an Airbus, you're going to find that airplane very, very Airbus. And we're leveling off at 3,000. Okay, we've got LS in play. But it's a good airplane. I mean, it's not. I'm not a big fan of that airframe when it was in production and flying for the airlines. Cargo loved it, still do. They're just now starting to get rid of them. But I was never a big fan of that aircraft. But what Rotate was able to do with it, they did a good job. They really did. There's some things I wish they'd have done just little things, but nothing overly major with it. So, all right, so we're going to get this set up to go on approach. SRQ, good. And we'll be coupling up to the approach here in a minute, folks. All right, let's see if that METAR has changed. It has not. Only 280 at 10. Clear skies. Par for the course. Par for the course. It's probably clear over the guy that looked up. Okay, there's no clouds right there. All right, let's slow up to, what is that, 190? And while it's doing that, it is going to turn on to the final approach course. We put flaps 1 out. Trying to learn an Airbus? Oh, they're actually very simple airplanes, in my humble opinion. As we overshot that big time. Holy mackerel. Gonna start down? Yes, good. Alright folks, we overshot big time. Coming in mighty hot right now too. Hopefully things will shape up like it's supposed to. Let's go ahead and help it.
2,500.
Not sure if that's the runway heading.
2,000.
Ah, I got the runway now. Hopefully this will start helping. All right, now we're going to go
1,000.
Alright folks, we're going to take over and do the damage ourselves. Remember, they all signed their NDA, so we're not worried how they feel. Just kidding. Like I said, wouldn't that be funny if airlines made you sign an NDA before you flew on them? Alright, Sarasota, right ahead.
Glide slow.
500.
Glide slow. Glide slow.
400.
Glide slow.
100 above. 300.
Okay, that's about as annoying as can be.
Minimum. 100.
Stable landing.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
Alright, well, we didn't make any of our taxiways I planned. That's really annoying. Hang on, folks. Oh well, not going to heat the brakes up that much, just get them. All right, so folks, we're on the ground here. All right, yeah, I was going to throw out there real quick the exclamation mark, the word predict, and for a landing, but yeah, things got just a little bit too hairy for me. So we'll just leave it at that, but it doesn't look too bad of a landing. Not one of my better ones, but not one of my worst ones. All right, we'll taxi back, and yes, I really hope Tampa or one of them wasn't online, because you know what? I wasn't watching. And I'm also one of those kind of VATSIM pilots. You're going to have to ping me. Because one, I don't watch, and two, you don't want to talk to me, or if you want to talk to me, you got to ping me. Good. Houston was the only one up. All right, so we are taxiing in. Let's do our taxi checks real quick. All right, landing flaps, or landing lights in. Taxi light, APU. And while we're at it, let's get the wing light. Okay. Pushing down, terrain radar can come off. And we can get the flaps up, go to. All right. And how we do on the wheels. Flaps open. So we'll get that started up. Quick look around. Okay, looks like we're cleared to cross 2, 2, and 4. It was close. I said 5 and 2, 3. I mean, if I really wanted to nitpick X-Plane, I could. I mean, taxiway lights in the middle of the taxiways and little things like that. But you know what? They did that in flight sims too. We had to go in and clean them up. So, hey, Melvin Leroy, welcome in, sir. Welcome to the party. Woohoo. Great flight simmers in here. Downwind sim. Melvin Leroy, great bush pilots, folks. If you like flying in the bush, these guys can set you up. Oh, the jetways aren't working. Darn it. Let's see if we can find one working. How you can tell that in X-Plane. Okay. Let me bring it to a stop. Okay. This one right here is working. This one, this one's working. It looks like that one isn't. If you see the hose hanging to the ground, good chance it's not working. We're going to gate B3, and it looks like that one's in op, but B1 appears to be working. Forgot strobes. All right, turn those suckers off. All right. So we're going to go all the way down. Even though we were scheduled for Bravo 3, which is this one right, we just passed up, we'll hit this one. If for anything, we get a working jetway. Taxiway lights off. But yeah, you see when you look over at this jetway how the hose is hanging down and how this one isn't? That's one of the telltale signs. Or at least what I figured out with it. That isn't saying much, folks. You know what? I am just going to set up right here. That way the jetway should be able to reach us. All right, finish this out. Radar off. I hate that. EWS off. Put that there. Okay, we've already got our transponder off. Uh-oh, we're taxiing. Dadgummit. Did it again to me, folks. Hang on. Power and back. Something you don't see very often, folks. And that's why you don't tap the brakes. Now the brakes are set. All right, APU, please tell me you're running. Good. I'm going to go ahead and just quickly go through. Brake fans, good, off. And here we go. First engine, off. Lead, on. Second engine, off. Curious what that'll do. Nobody saw nothing. You know, I like the movie Airplane. I thought I'd recreate it. All right, folks, we're into jetway. Enough fun. See if it will move the jetway, though. Yep, jetway's on the move. Alright, beacons are off. Masters, everything shut down up front here, folks. Again, welcome to Sarasota. Thank you all for coming out. We're going to take a look now at the information Sim Toolkit gives for landing. Make sure things are opening up. They are. And then, actually, first thing I'm going to do is see if I wonder if it recorded us. We'll find out. I'm sure it's going to flag it. Like I said, folks, this is American Virtual we're flying with. They can be very strict with their policies, but you know what? It's their airline. They can be as strict as they want. You just have to decide, is it too much for you to handle? And, oh, no, they didn't gig me. Awesome. All right, folks, so what did we land with? You can't see this right now. 276 they have me at. Well, that's pretty cool. Let's see how Sim Toolkit, how nice Sim Toolkit was to us. Didn't look too nice. Close out, and let's go to circuit. Why did it put us down for American? I'll have to go in and find out. All right, here's the route, folks. You can kind of see how it went. Nice. Few details. 352 feet a minute, folks. I'm not going to complain. A little slow. So we already know that's one of the reasons probably for a little bit of a harder landing. And if that's where I really touch down at, folks, boy, does that make me happy. All right, we are 1,100 feet down the runway. Wow, right on the aiming point. That makes me really happy. The fact that I smacked it a little hard at 352 is not bad. Woke you all up with a 1.5 G landing. Ended it with a tuck and roll at the end. So yeah, good numbers here, folks. Real quick for new people to the stream, because I know Bad Attitude brought in a great raid. Okay, this section here, where you see the blue dot, that's where the landing zone starts. That's where you're supposed to land going forward down the runway. This section is called a displace. Now, technically, they could line an airplane up here waiting for you. I wouldn't recommend it, but it technically could happen. And these chevrons down here, you're not supposed to. It's blast pad. So the airport doesn't have brown patches from all the heat coming off the engines taken off. Believe me, I've seen them at our airport. We don't have blast pads. All right, so the big thing though here that you as a pilot can use from this, okay, these little hashes you see, we'll talk about this one, but each of these hashes are 500 feet down the runway. Golfers out there, you know, I was told once that good golfers, good caddies know their course because they know where the trees, the obstacles are, and how far those are from the holes. Think of them the same way. This tells you how far down the runway you've gone. Okay? This is what you aim for visually. It's such a huge target out there for you to see. That's where you aim to touch down. Doesn't mean you have to. But, you know, that's where everything from your PUPYYs to your ILS rigs are all geared to put you on the ground at. Now, conversely, these hash marks repeat on the other end of the runway. They become more important at this point because if you start seeing them and you're still rolling at 150 knots, you might want to stick your feet out to help stop your plane like Fred Flintstone does because you're running out of runway. The good thing is you have a displacement down here, but a lot of runways you don't. So, but anyway, there's your runway lesson for today, folks. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to definitely need those brake fans if you put your feet out to try to stop. It's going to be hot. So, all right, so what I'm going to do here, let's try to get this plane to replay this landing. Didn't have Sim Toolkit up? Oh my gosh. I even set it differently so I wouldn't do that. All right, real quick, folks, since I'm not worthy and didn't have it up for you. I tell you. The blue dot's the threshold. Going forward, that's your landing zone. There's your hash marks I mentioned. This is your aiming, visual aiming point. There's your PUPYYs. Not sure where, I think this is where your glide slope is, just by the looks of things, but I could be wrong. But yeah, there's your PUPYY. So everything's geared for you to come in right there if you got 2 white, 2 red. Then down here again, like I was saying, if you start seeing those, use your feet. You may have to stick them out to stop. Alright, so now we're going to get rid of all of this fun stuff. And let's go ahead, let me check here. I did this once and someone was on short final following us. Okay, nobody's out there. All right, so we're going to come off. To be able to do the replay, folks, whether you do it or not, you will come off VATSIM because X-Pilot will kick you off. All right, so now we'll come up. Whoop, hang on, my bad. Get rid of the jetway. Okay, I'm just going to use the ToLiss real quick here. Okay, and don't think I put the chocks down. No, I did not. Okay, so once everything's buttoned up, let me explain what we're doing here. The replay function that I'm going to use in X-Plane comes with X-Plane. Microsoft, you have to download a product. I don't know if it's payware or not. I told you I don't have it. You have to install it, and then during your flight sometime, wherever you want to start the replays, you set it up there. Then I think you have to reconfigure your plane at the end completely. I only do this because if I don't, I find that it crashes to desktop. Where in X-Plane 11, it didn't matter. Although it was funny watching it fly through the air with doors open. So, but you'd have to turn the engines back on, all of that, and you don't have to in X-Plane. All right, so let's give it a try. Fingers crossed. Appears to be working to me. Let me see where I am. Yeah, that looks good. The only thing it does not do, folks, is it keeps the weather going. So it's just like you're flying it normally. Come on.
Glide slow.
500.
And just like you'd expect, you can do fast, slow, whatever. I can take it, folks, all the way back to the beginning when the stream started and relive it. Oh, we're not doing that. We can relive the approach, the takeoff, the cruise, whatever. All right, let's see how she does. Okay, I'm very happy. I aimed right where I wanted to be. You like that? That was a neat effect. All right, let's watch it again, folks. Try it again. Screenshot time for y'all. Actually, not a bad landing at all. the dream shot of Hawker 125. Wow, you can see those storms, folks, how they're pronounced right there. Okay, we're over the displaced threshold right now. And we're over the runway. Touchdown. Spoilers. Not bad. Well, we woke up downwind sim. That's all that matters, so that he can make his connection to the beach. See if we can wake up Melvin Leroy there. Yeah, I think we probably woke him up as well. And there's the terminal where we're parked at. Let's see what the tower looks like. Some of these airports it's good, some it gets in the way. Here we come. Hey Melvin, quit trying to get in the cockpit. There we go. Welcome to Sarasota, folks. The beach awaits you all, I know, our first vacation stopover. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this stream in our Viewer Appreciation Month. Remember, June 15th, by 10 o'clock, I hope to be rolling down the runway at Honolulu, headed for Narita. You all are welcome to join us. We're celebrating you for the ones that made us an affiliate. I'm just the lucky one to be behind the control stick of the aircraft. June 15th, I'll be in the 747. I hope to have you all joining us either there or along the way. I don't expect a lot of people to partake in 9-hour journeys, but you know, some like it. I being one of them. Why didn't the jetway come over? Oh well. Folks, we sure appreciate y'all coming out. Thank you all for coming. Bad Attitude, thank for the raid. Bringing over the 14 people that you did. Hope y'all are still here. If you are, hit that follow button. We'd love to see you on our next flight. Next flight is the Wednesday, and that'll be Midway Airport to Ronald Reagan. Will be fun. God bless you all. Have a great day. We'll see you then. Alright folks, here on Twitch, I am going to go ahead, raid a channel here. We're going to head over to Duluth Fly. Claims to be flying a X-Plane 12, looks like 737. Hope you all enjoy. God bless you all. We'll see you Thursday.